What's up? Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the show. It is episode 299, and it's April 19th, 2022. I'm joined once again by Kyle Klingman up in Cedar Falls, Iowa. And Kyle, how you doing so far today?
I'm doing good. I know our guest today has no clue who I am, but I remember him because when I was at track wrestling, he would send us messages on our track wrestling Instagram saying how bad our rankings sucked. So
Stop.
I remember that.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He can verify. He would rip us. I loved it.
No, I do not remember this.
This is Keegan O'Toole. No?
I do not remember doing that.
Kyle?
It's been a while ago.
It was when you were in high school.
And you guys must have been doing something wrong then or something.
Go ahead, Kyle.
That's why Flo bought us.
Exactly. We got to fix things, mush them together. So it's Keegan O'Toole, though. Welcome to the show, Keegan. Fresh off an NCAA title at the 2022 championships. When did you first start following NCAA wrestling, or first time you saw it on ESPN? Or I guess it's easier to consume now than years ago, but still, at some point you had to have it be discovered it, right?
Yeah, I think the first NCAAs I ever watched was the 2010 NCAAs where Iowa had 5 guys in the finals, like Matt McDonough, all the way up to Brent Metcalf and Jay Blarschel. And that was where I kind of started to really follow NCAA wrestling and just think how cool this is and how I would love to be wrestling there someday. But it seemed like such a long time because I was only 9 years old at the time.
Yeah. Did Max wrestle in that one? Max win, I mean, is that right?
Yeah, he did. But like I said, I was a huge Iowa fan, so I don't exactly remember too much of Max wrestling during that time. But as a couple of years went by and then AWA opened, I was like, okay, yeah, Max was wrestling in that one, and I went back and watched his match a bunch of times.
Sure. And didn't Jay Blarschel, what is it, the semis or the finals? Didn't Jay Blarschel, if you were an Iowa fan, didn't he have a big comeback over for Heinrich, Virginia, or somebody? Do you remember this?
I do not. I think I only watched the finals that year. So
okay. Klingman, you probably know.
Yeah, Chris Henrik from Virginia.
All right. Was it the finals or the semis?
Semis.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense then. All right, Keegan. So watching it at 9 and thinking how cool it would be to one day wrestle in that, and probably at that point, you right when you see it, you're like, oh, I would want to win that. But when did it turn from wanting to believing to? At what point did you believe yeah, I can do this?
Honestly, probably not till I got to college. I always kind of looked at it as, man, this is kind of far away. I was still in high school. But then as my freshman year of college started and I started to have a little bit more success, I started winning matches, and I think I was undefeated going into the NCAA tournament my true freshman year. I truly believed that I could win. I thought that was a very good possibility. Obviously, it wasn't my time, didn't happen, but I think that was really the first time where I truly believed that I had an opportunity to win the tournament.
All right. And then, I guess just kind of getting to the tournament this year. We kind of talked about this. I remember in the post-match interview, if I'm not mistaken, you saw that draw, which most people looked at it's kind of brutal, and you almost liked it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was at Maple's house, Kendrick Maple's house, when the brackets came out, I think that night, and he looked over at me and he's like, "Hey, did you see the brackets?" I was like, "Nah, it don't matter. It's NCAAs. It's going to be a grind. I'm going to have 5 really tough guys just because my weight class this year was crazy." Mm-hmm. The only couple people that really were undefeated or, really consistent all year were me and Wick. So I just knew that we were going to be the 1 and 2. And he had the better criteria, so I knew I was probably going to be the 2 seed. But after that, it was going to be chaos. I could have had I literally had All-American second round and a world team member second round. So, yeah, it was. I mean, man, I didn't think anything of it, to be honest. Like, it was tough, but my mind was in such a good place, so nothing was gonna affect me.
You're like talking about my mind was in such a good place, nothing could affect me. Compare your mind going into this tournament and the year before when you're undefeated and like you had said, right? It had a pretty good shot of winning. But like, was it the same? Was it a stronger mind this year? Was it pretty similar?
I mean, definitely stronger. I grew a lot mentally and my wrestling, my faith uh, throughout the over this past year. Last year, I feel it was more like, I believe I can win, but I haven't wrestled a lot of these guys, so we'll just see what happens. But this year, it was more of like, all right, I've been here. I know what I have to do, and if I stick to it, nothing's gonna stop me.
Yeah. Um, Nerves, right? And then maybe I'm asking the same question, right? But maybe not. Like, how were your nerves last year compared to this year?
That's tough. I mean, last year it's always like that first match, getting out there, you see the lights, and maybe honestly I had a little bit more nerves this year just because there were tons of fans there,
Oh yeah,
and the atmosphere was a little bit more chaotic and upbeat, and I had taken third the year before, so I didn't want to lose again. So I
yeah.
think maybe it's a bit more this year just because I was uh, going there and I didn't want to take third again. So I guess it was last year I didn't feel as much pressure just because I was, the young kid. This was like a free year for me. It didn't matter what happened, but obviously I wanted to win. And this year it felt like, okay, I got a job to do. And that did put a little bit of nerves in me, but I think it helped.
Okay, sweet. So I told you before, I want to kind of go through the last four matches. I think you wrestled five, right? Well, we'll just jump to
Yeah.
the round of 16. You wrestled on All American and Anthony Valencia, and it's just the highlights here, most of the scoring action. But we'll let it rip and just kind of any commentary or thoughts you have on this match would be great.
I mean, right here, just had to get on the board, get this takedown as soon as I can. I knew that once I got on top, he wasn't going to get away. And here I was just kind of weathering the storm. I was in a lot of pain at this point, and I kind of just wanted the match to be done with.
Yeah. So I guess we probably
So,
don't have it, but it happened in this match when you hurt your ankle, right?
yeah, it was like I think late in the second period.
So what
So
was the score, and can you describe the scenario or situation? Who's on top, and what kind of happening?
I think I went for a duck under one time, and I almost got it. I ducked, and he kind of ran up. He just kind of like turned and jumped away. So I tried to chase it down, and then I kind of went for it again, and I ended up with like a seat belt almost, and went down to my butt, but my both of my toes were pointed out, and so I had most of my weight on my left foot, and the outside of my ankle popped from like my ankle bone all the way up to my like three-quarters up like my calf along like my whatever bone that is.
Yeah.
And man, that freaked me out. And I couldn't really shoot the rest of the match. And I was kind of scared too because I didn't know what was wrong with it.
But you never thought to be like, hey, so I need somebody to look at this. It was more just like, I just get this done, get out of here,
Yeah,
get this
no,
match over with.
absolutely not. Wasn't gonna call injury time uh, because I could still stay in my stance for the most part, and I knew the faster I got the match done, the faster I had a chance to figure out what was wrong and diagnose it and get some treatment to it.
Yeah. Um. So how quickly did you get to say something? Get to say something to the trainer? 2 minutes after the match? Do you have
I
to go
mean, they knew
back
right away.
behind? Go ahead.
Yeah, I looked over. I looked over at Coach Smith, and he's like, "Just go, like, just start walking that way out into the tunnel, walk to the training room." And then our trainer and Doc, Tarbox, um, they followed me into the training room, and immediately took my shoe off, took my sock off, and then they started testing and see what was wrong with it.
Probably not, but are you? And any of you looking around? Be like, are there other coaches or wrestlers in here who can see what's going on?
Oh yeah, there were a bunch of people, but I honestly, man, I didn't care. They were staring, they were doing whatever. It was like, I just need to figure out what's wrong with this.
Yeah. So what'd they say? And wait, so this is round of 16. That's the second match on the first day, right? So you're done for the day?
Yes, it's
So
Thursday night.
That's kind of, I mean,
Wait,
that right? I think so. Klingman's nodding his head. He knew.
Thursday night.
So you didn't have to wrestle another match that day, at least.
Yeah.
How did it feel when you woke
No,
up?
I was done for the night. Terrible. And that was where I was in the most pain. It was just like sore. It was fresh, like swollen. And I stood up and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be terrible. Like, this is gonna be so ugly. But I looked at our doc, and I was like, I'm still gonna win a national title. Like, right when after I got off the mat and I was walking back to our area, where I said, I'm still wrestling. Like, I'm winning a national title. And he looked at me. He's like, I don't know if he looked at me with like a little bit of surprise, but it might have caught him off guard that I still said that. He was like, okay, all right, good. Like, I like to hear that. And so,
Sounds spooked.
yeah, I went to bed. I woke up and it wasn't feeling that good by any means.
Were you still as confident that you could win or would win as you were when you said that the night before to the trainer?
Man, absolutely not. I like remember before warming up for my quarters, like I was kind of by myself, and I started to cry a little bit, like not really out of sadness, just out of like, man, this is like really putting a damper in, what I had planned. But that night when we had our team meeting in Coach Smith's room, Maple came up to me and he was like, man, it's going to be awesome. You're going to be able to win an NCAA title, and you're going to actually have to go through some adversity. Like, you're not just going to feel good the whole time. Like, this is going to be a great story for your first national title. And I was like, well, you're not wrong. Like, I'm going to still find a way to do it. It might not be what I would like it to look like. So
was that meeting the night you got hurt or the next night when Maple said that?
That was the night we got hurt.
So. Okay. So you get emotional before the quarters, rightfully so. I don't know. Walk me through that match. You don't have to walk me through, but like, how did you feel during that match? And did it hurt more as the match went on, or?
Man, we threw so much tape on it, and I wasn't wrestling how I would normally wrestle. Like, I'm usually a righty lead. I'm right foot. I like to shoot a lot, but I had to switch lead legs because I couldn't really push off my ankle. So I switched lead legs, and I was going like lefty collar, lefty lead, and just trying to like snap and push and pull the whole time, and maybe create a situation where I could snag a leg off of like an easy attack. So like I got in on a drag single on the edge. Unfortunately, we got out of bounds. If I was put into any like scramble position, that was what I was kind of looking for. I knew that was going to benefit me because my feet wouldn't be really on the mat, and I'd probably be able to win that position just because I feel like I could beat anyone in a scramble. So definitely not wrestling how I normally would, and it did hurt. There was constant pain throughout the match, but I had to find things that wouldn't necessarily hurt it that much, because you always have that like that little, I guess, pain tolerance or not pain tolerance in your mind. Where like, okay, I don't care, it hurts, but like when you start to push off it, you're like, you can't stop like from not doing that just because it hurts. It's like pushing your foot down on a needle. Like, you're not, like, you could say you're going to do it, but once you start doing it, you're going to lift your foot up. And I knew that once I got on top, that was going to be what I needed to take advantage of, because top was fine for me. Like, I wasn't really pushing off my feet too much. So I knew that any chance I got on top, like I had to take advantage of it. Like I had to not let anyone go.
Yeah. All right. Well, then, Tyler, can we pull that quarterfinal up and just kind of run through it? And that was like a great breakdown that you gave us. We'll just kind of watch kind of the highlights here. What was it, your left or right ankle?
It was my left ankle.
All right. So I'm like watching here.
Yes, I mean, he almost got a reversal. I mean, I honestly, it could have been called a reversal. Like it was very close.
Yeah.
So that would have made things a little bit harder in the match to win. But, the call went my way. I just kept wrestling. Obviously, calls. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And then, after this match, I was pretty pumped just because, this was going to be a tough one to get out of the way because, wrestling a really good kid.
Yeah.
And, this kind of solidifies me as an All-American and a chance to make the finals, which is what I was really looking forward to do.
Sure. So now you're under the semis, and I don't know, have you've attended the NCAAs before you wrestled in it?
Yeah. In 2017 when I was in St. Louis.
Yeah. So you've been there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when you wrestled in it the first time, like you said, no crowd or limited crowd, and the feeling of Saturday night, I'm sure you felt it as a fan in 2017. What did it feel like as an athlete? And then on top of that, you feel the electricity, but you know that you're not you know that you're banged up.
Man, I mean, like the one thing that I'll forever remember is like coming out to my walkout song, which was "Shout at the Devil" by Motley Crue. Like I was nervous, obviously, and once that song came on, and once like the light was on me, and I could hear like everyone in the Mizzou section just going "shout, shout," like just the goosebumps and like the happiness and the joy just just flooded my body. And it almost took like all the nerves away. It took all the stress away. And, kind of didn't care that my ankle was hurt at the time. I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, this is the last match. I don't have to wrestle anymore after this. If it breaks, like, it doesn't matter.
Freaking insane.
That was my motto. And my coaches were like, it doesn't matter what happens after this match. Like, it doesn't matter what happens during this. I'm like, I know. Like, if it gets hurt, it gets hurt worse. Like, I'm going down swinging. I'm going down to the death.
You said that. I don't remember if it was after the semis or the quarters, but you said I'm ready to die for a national title, which I thought was pretty intense.
Some people who don't understand sports psychology would be like, oh, that's stupid to say. Like, it's just a sport. But obviously I wouldn't die. My point, I feel like most people could interpret that as I'm willing to actually do whatever it takes to win.
Right.
At this point. And if that means, exhaust myself till, I almost pass out or, go till I hurt my ankle even more. It's just more of the phrase that I like to say, and me and my coaches said to each other. That was really like, it put me in a good mindset.
Yeah. I didn't think you actually wanted your life to be over.
I thought there was just a couple people like that I was talking to. They were like, man, why did you say that? That was kind of weird. And I'm like, I don't understand like sports psychology and like, how to be mentally prepared for something.
Right. I loved it. So let's kind of watch the highlights again through the semifinals. And did you feel physically any better, worse, the same?
I definitely felt a little bit better because the day went on and my ankle was a little bit looser.
Yeah.
But still, like when I got in on this shot, like I couldn't push off the drive and like cut the corner. I had to take a really sloppy finish, just kind of horse it up. But I wanted to get on the board right away with a takedown. Like I got in on a high single, like in the first 2 seconds of the match. I couldn't finish it, but once I knew that I got this takedown, I was going to take advantage of being on top. And as you can see, I already had like almost 2 minutes of riding time.
Yeah, it's a lot of riding.
First period.
It's a hell of a ride in the first period.
I mean, once I was up, like I hate to say it, but like I was almost like trying to hold on to the lead. Like that's not how I normally wrestle, but I didn't want to like half attempt a shot and like not be able to push as hard as I can off because I knew that he had really good reattacks and I knew that he was really solid defensively. So I had to really just kind of hand fight and pick and choose if I was going to attack.
Yeah. You have a pretty good like.
And
Go ahead.
I knew if we got in any like sort of scramble position like you saw there, it was going to benefit me.
Yeah.
So.
Were you pretty familiar with all the top guys? Like you're like, I know where he's good. I know this. I know that. You pretty familiar to that degree with most of the top guys in the country?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you have the coaches that you do, and then you have, Ben and Max back home,
Yeah.
Before every match, I got Ben texting me before Amin saying, he's going to wrestle really hard. He's got a good double from space. Where you can take advantage on top and in the scrambles. And then, right after that semifinal match, he's like, I'm going to watch a bunch of tape on Griffith. I'll get back to you in the morning. So, like, just unbelievably lucky and blessed to have, like, people that are willing to do things for me like that with such intelligent minds in the sport.
Yeah.
So.
Well, did he get back to you in the morning? What did he say?
Oh, absolutely. He sent me a couple clips of, where Griffith was really good and, like, a couple things that he did against Wick and I think his quarterfinal match against Wisconsin kid the night before. He's like, he's good here. Like, he really likes this a lot. So here you can go to this position or this position where you're good. And, obviously I'm sharing that with Maple and Coach Smith and, Don Bradley and Coach Todd. So, yeah, I think there was like a go behind position. His slide by where he throws leg in and goes like Merkel position. And then when he goes like low single, which kind of we got in all of those positions in our match. So it was definitely helpful. And I knew the areas that I needed to stay away from.
Yeah, some pretty awesome resources at your disposal, for sure. Let's do this last one. We'll kind of pull this finals match up and let her in. Ankle feeling better than it did in the quarters of semis?
Yeah, I got a lot of adrenaline. Man, I was so upset with myself right here giving up this takedown. I don't think I've lost a far ankle scramble since like beginning of high school.
Can we pull that back?
Grabbed his ankle the wrong
Tyler?
way.
I want to see this because he made note of it.
Yeah, my hand positioning was wrong. So like when he turns in right here,
yeah,
you can see I almost got my right hand around to get back to the single leg, but since I grabbed it the wrong way, I had to kind of go like a farther distance.
Okay.
So if I would have put my right hand on the top of his foot, I would have got it, but my right hand's on the bottom of his foot.
Just how you ended up, huh? But you normally do it the other way?
I was salty about that one.
No time to be salty, right?
No, yeah, get right up.
Yep. And this was big, obviously. Oh wait, no, I thought this was a takedown. Excuse me. This one.
Man, I'm just too stubborn. That's literally a freestyle move, and I don't know why I did that. But even here, I mean, I disagree with the officiating. I didn't think it was a takedown because my arm is out right there.
Yeah, go back to that again. What'd you Tyler? So he goes, what they call it, 2 for a Merkel?
Step behind it. Yeah, or side headlock type thing.
Yeah.
But I have my arm out.
Oh yeah, your left arm.
It was, it's whatever. That like, I kind of had to call that on my way in my quarters, so I thought about that. I was like, you can't let it bother you.
Sure.
But that Peterson reversal was huge, and I had to ride him out here. I had to readjust a couple times too, just because.
Just kept driving your feet.
Yeah. Man, that's probably one of the best go behinds I hit all year.
What a time to hit it.
I will say that was by far the most painful thing in the match was pushing off that foot to go get that ankle. Right. But I knew like once here, like this is a position where you have to score. Like I only got to the leg one time and I had to score it.
All right. We got 36 seconds to keep. Tyler, can we go back to the last takedown? Like where before he gets to the leg? Or even just a little further back. If we can, yeah, that's perfect. So where you said the most painful part was where?
Pushing off my left foot, like to run corner.
Yeah. But you knew you needed it, right?
Yeah, I could deal with the pain for a couple seconds just to get this one takedown. I would have liked to have rode him out the whole third period, but I got a little overzealous on top, and I had to be smart about it. So
Right.
we smokes. Like I was looking at, it was awesome because we were like going towards my corner, and I was just looking at Coach Smith, Coach Maple, Coach Dom, and I could hear them just screaming. And then Dom was screaming, "Smell like money" the whole time because like our team song this year was "Not a Stain on Me" by Big Tuck. It's just like a song that just says "Smell like money." So man, it was an unbelievable moment. And then just running over to them, giving all of them hugs. It was kind of like just a dream. It finally became reality.
You probably pictured it, whether it was at 9 years old or last year when you believed it, or right. We've all watched ourselves win and jump in your coach's arms. But how did it? I'm assuming you've done that, right? If not, correct me. But how did it feel versus what you had pictured?
Man, it went by really fast in real life. Man, it felt like I got off the mat and I felt like I was only wrestling for like 2 minutes. And I wish that things would have went a little bit slower, but time flies when you're having a great time. But it was unbelievable. Like I'll always remember, especially when Maple busted them dance moves down on the stage. Did you guys see that?
I mean, not in real time, but yeah, I saw. I don't know if I saw a video or a photo, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was actually probably the funniest thing about that. So jumping off the stage, and obviously you got the media guy saying, "No, you can't really do anything. You got to follow me."
Yeah.
So I was able to help my mom and my dad, which is awesome. And then running out of the tunnel, there was actually like a group of younger, like high school AWA guys from back home that made the trip that I know. So, to see the younger generations of AWA that I've wrestled with, go over there, give them high fives. And then after that, it's all, interviews and, stuff like that.
How did you attend to your ankle? Or when did you ice it that night, or kind of where we at now? Those are two different questions, I guess.
I had like an absurd amount of tape and wrap on it. So
Yeah.
I took my shoe off in the interview room because it hurt so dang bad. And we did the interview, and then I literally ran back, and it was such a far, like we were in the farthest part, like of the tunnel, like obviously like it's circle-ish type thing. I had to run like the whole like tunnel underneath the arena to get back to where everyone was. And once I did, I hugged all the coaches, all my teammates, and I was like, "Hey, like, sweet, I need you to cut this off me right now." And so we did that, and then I just took some ibuprofen. I didn't really ice it just because at the time, I didn't really care that it hurt. Like the season was over. It's okay. Like I can take my time. There's no rush to, I guess, get it feeling amazing. I had nothing really to do that night. But and also I had to run back and go to the grab my warm-ups and go to the award stand. So I didn't have much time to really do anything with it.
The whole night probably goes. I didn't think about that. You said the match, felt like 2 minutes went really fast. I bet the whole night you get win, interview, this, that, the other, award stage, more whatever. Like, does it feel?
Yeah.
Did it feel like a blur, kind of?
Yeah, some parts of it definitely do, but the important parts and the parts that I want to remember with my family and my teammates and my coaches didn't. Like probably one of the coolest things was I won And then our 157 pounder, Jarrett J. Hughes, actually proposed to his girlfriend
Oh, no way.
in Detroit, right on the river. And I was the one that told his fiance now to turn around when obviously, he had the ring. So we literally got back to the hotel. I hadn't showered. I hadn't done anything. I was in my warm up, and he's like, "All right, we're gonna do this now." And our whole team was out by the river. It was freezing cold. It was windy. It was like 40 degrees.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey," her name was Devin. I was like, "Hey, Devin, can you take a picture of me and Maple? Just doing the plan." And then she's like, "Yeah, sure." Like, kind of confused, like, "Why me?"
Yeah.
And then eventually, I was like, "Okay, like, thanks." Now, like, turn around. And she like looked at me and she didn't turn around for a second. And I was like, "What are you doing? Turn around." And I think she knew it was coming, but she like was scared to like turn around and see it.
Yeah.
But she turned around and, he popped the question and she said yes, obviously, and took a couple pictures. And then I sprinted back in the hotel and, I wanted to shower and I wanted to eat some food because I hadn't eaten like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So
It's like
it was
it's
an awesome night.
it's a late deal, right? With TV and ESPN and everything else. What was your first meal post win?
I texted in our team group chat. I was like, "Guys, I'll pay you. I just want food. Can you guys order like 3 pizzas like right now before we got back?" And I think Peyton Mako and maybe Zach Elam or something. They ordered a couple pizzas, and so that when we got back, I was like literally like undressing while eating pizza before I got in the shower, just because I was so dang hungry.
Can't
So
go wrong.
it was awesome. It
Can't
was
go.
like it was already like 12:30 up to this point. We didn't get back because you know how late it starts. Finals start like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
You have to stay for all the pictures and stuff afterwards. So
That's like a 4 or 5 hour ordeal, like that night on Saturday.
yeah,
Okay,
it
so
was a long night.
freestyle. What's that? Freestyle wise,
No, I just said it was a long night.
it was a long night. So,
Oh,
so you're probably not going to compete at the Open, right?
freestyle wise,
Take care of your ankle.
no. Yeah, I still haven't wrestled yet at all. Like
Yeah.
Coach Smith and Coach Dom have really been prolonging my return to wrestling at practice, which is quite annoying, but I know that it's for a good cause. So, I've done 2 15-minute sessions on top since nationals. So, yeah, no, my ankle's by no means like 100%. Like a high ankle sprain, just I've never had one before, but like all of our athletic trainers here at school, like our football athletic trainer and our wrestling athletic trainer, just say like, yeah, they're probably like the most lingering, most annoying injury. Like they suck. Like we would rather have a broken ankle than a high sprain. So yeah, unfortunately, freestyle's a pass for me this year.
Yep.
But we have a really good substitute at the Open of Kendrick Maple for me. So instead of me, it's him going.
I can't wait to see Kendrick Maple. You guys all say he whoops everybody's butt up and down through like 84 in the Missouri room. So it's 2022. Freestyle, unfortunately, is a pass. You believe you'll be 74 kilos in 2023?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was kind of upset that there would be no freestyle wrestled this summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. I love freestyle. I don't tell Coach Smith this because he's more of a folk style guy, but I like freestyle probably a little bit more.
Freestyle is just better, isn't it, Kyle?
Yeah.
Kyle likes folk style. I like freestyle. So this is a question. I know we asked about watching the NCAAs and then wanting to win and believing you can win. Like, do you think by 2024 you'll be able to challenge for a spot at 74? Obviously, I'm talking Dake, Burrows, and anybody else. But those guys, they're for a decade or so, they've been at the top of the world.
Yeah, I mean that is actually something that's like obviously I'm gonna go into that those Olympic trials and I'm gonna be, I'm gonna try to make a dang Olympic team. But I know obviously it's going to be the most difficult thing that I've probably ever tried to do in my life when it comes to wrestling. But to be honest, it's just going to be an awesome experience getting to wrestle those guys. Like, I mean, I've watched Kyle Dake when I was he won his 4th title in 2013. I was 12 years old at the time. And then you're telling me that I get to wrestle him. So, yeah, obviously I'm going to believe in myself to be able to be a contender for that spot just because, I will have had, a couple more years of college experience. And obviously I don't want to go into that, thinking, oh, these guys are really good. And I don't know if I have a chance, but it's just going to be more of the opportunity to wrestle those guys. And, I'm one that likes the challenge. Like the tougher the opponent, the bigger the name. It's better for me just because I love the experience. Like win or lose, any match in my entire life has always been, this is what I love to do, regardless if I win or lose. Like I just enjoy wrestling. I enjoy competing. And the fact that I get to do it with people that I've looked up to, man, this would make it even better.
In order for you to make the jumps to pull off the toughest feat in your wrestling career, do you think you'll have to like develop more physically or develop more skill wise?
I mean, obviously, you got to be developing in every sort of area, mentally, spiritually, physically, technically. But I think for me right now, I think a lot of jumps that I need to make are, physically. I kind of didn't start growing until getting not even man muscles, but just getting any sort of muscle and strength in me till probably maybe senior year of high school. I mean, I started out as a 57 my freshman year. So, that's something that I'll be working on. But also, 2024 it's a little ways away. So obviously I'm going to have to develop technically, but I'm always looking to improve technically all the time. So I think it's just going to be a mixture of both and knowing what my weaknesses are. And right now that's physical development and strength, because strength matters. When we were wrestling, how they could probably be like almost 30 years old at the time, if not 30, and Jordan Burroughs would probably be like 35, 36, something like that.
Yeah.
So they're grown men.
Is there a chance? I just thought about this, right? You like wrestle 57. I just started, kind of not even getting man muscles yet. Is there a chance you're too big for 74? Like, could you see that? Could you see that happening by 2024?
Probably not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could see myself going 174 pounds in college later.
Yeah.
But as of now, no. Even if I was a little bit big, I would have to man up and make that cut down. But I don't know. Making it over in Russia wasn't bad at all. But yeah, I don't know. That's a couple years away. I could, start becoming a bodybuilder and just putting on some crazy muscle.
Pass.
You never know.
But
I doubt it, but
yeah,
you never know.
Genetics aren't trending that way. All right, fair enough. All right, Keegan, we got a little game. Kyle Klingman's over here waiting in the wings. To ask you some questions, and I hope they don't have to do with rankings, Kyle.
No, they don't. But I'll tell you what, in my dad's book, I always going to use my dad as a barometer. He spent about 5 minutes raving about Keegan O'Toole after the NCAA championship. So that's a good thing.
Born in Iowa. Must be a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, number 1. True or false? Brian Smith has mentioned Mark Bader in one of his pre-practice talks.
True.
You remember the context? What did he mention?
I don't remember what he was talking about. I think it was something about like an old duel where you guys lost this, like, I don't know what team, like Wyoming or something, and you got all pissed off.
That was a good one. Yeah, we lost to Wyoming. And he flipped his shit. It was the loudest and most, tirade's the right word, but I don't know if it's the wrong word. We lost to Wyoming. We thought we were going to win. We got our ass kicked, and half the guys turned over, and there wasn't a whole lot of fight. He kicked in the door and was like, rah! MF'd everybody up and down the lineup, and So loud, my ears were blistering. So good memory, Keegan.
You guys know that we had our athletic awards for the university for like Mizzou yesterday, and he actually won Coach of the Year. So pretty awesome.
Heck
Nice.
yeah, he's done wonders.
Oh
I
yeah,
like it. All right, that was good. Number 2, true or false? Mark Bader is a wrestling icon.
true.
Absolutely true. Ring the bell, Mark. Ring that bell. A little louder, but that's all right. Number 3, name all of the individual NCAA wrestling champions in Missouri program history.
Ben Askren in 2006, 2007. Mark Ellis in 2009. Max Askren 2010. Drake Hottershell in 2015. Jane Cox in 2014, 2016, 2017. And now me.
Nice.
God, a little loud.
Number 4, true or false? Brian Smith has more energy than Mark Bader.
That's probably true.
Yeah, he's a high energy guy. He's a high.
Yeah,
He's not.
he's doing the. We have 2 different lifting groups right now. We have like a 4-day a week and a 3-day a week. And the 4-day a week are the guys that like need to get like a little bit bigger. It's like our heavyweights and some of the guys that are going up in weight. And man, this dude's like 50 some years old and he's doing all lifts and showing up. And I swear he's the only coach at like, not to disrespect any other sports, but like I don't know any other coach that's doing all of the lifts with all of their athletes every single like day. That man's in there grinding.
And on top of that, practice is like a small part of his job, right? Like he's like, this is his job, and like practice is right here. So
yeah, he's got meetings. He's got to talk. He's got to talk to other coaches. He has other games to go to. Yeah,
nonstop. I'll give you that. Did
All
I
right.
press the bell? There's the bell. I
Yeah,
don't know if I pressed it or
I
not.
hope so.
Well, I
Number
did.
5, final one. True or false? Keegan O'Toole could defeat Kendrick Maple in a folk style wrestling match at 165 pounds.
I don't know about that one yet.
We're going false?
I mean,
Yeah, right now, yeah, false. I got a little bit of work to do.
This guy's wrestling 65 kilograms at the U.S. Open. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's actually really upsetting whenever he beats the crap out of me like that. Obviously, it's not as bad as my freshman year, and it's a little bit closer, but like, this dude weighs 20 pounds lighter than me, and I still can like barely get to his legs and take him down, and he can just double me, and like his go behinds are just so fast. It's so annoying, but I mean, it's good to have someone in the room like that.
If he go ahead.
I said maybe I think this year will be the year where I can break through. I truly believe it. He might he's been saying, he's like, I can't wait to get back. Like, you're gonna be out of shape. I've been in shape training. I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited, dude. Like
if he wins, like, is he going to go on, or is he just committed to wrestling at the U.S. Open, right? If he qualifies for trials, if he wins trials, will he go to Final X and make the team if he can?
The bet was just the Open, but I would be really disappointed in him as one of his pupils if he were to win or qualify for the trials and he didn't go. I would be kind of upset with him.
Did you hear that, Kendrick?
I think he will. I was eating dinner at his house on Easter because I didn't make the trip home. And I remember him saying something to his wife about, dates, like upcoming dates. He's like, yeah, this week's Final X. And I was like, oh, like, so you're at least putting it in there. And he's like, nope, you didn't hear that. So
It's on the calendar.
I think all will be well.
I wouldn't be shocked if he qualified for the trials, and I guess I'll have to assess his performance beyond that to see if I think he could make Final X. But that would be something, man. That would be a lot of fun.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. To see
I wish I was going down there to at least watch him. But he's gonna have all of his kids cheering him on back in Columbia.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll send you a link. I got no place you can watch it.
What's that?
I know a place you can watch his matches. I'll shoot you a link.
Okay, awesome. Appreciate it.
You bet, man. Anytime. But that's kind of it. We kind of run to the end of the line. Talking NCAAs, talking freestyle. We could probably go on all day, but we'll have you back on again, I'm sure, and talk some more. So Keegan, we'll give you the final word before we let you get out of here.
Well, thank you guys for having me, like always. And I just signed with not just signed, but right before Nationals, the Scrap Life Squad. So
Nice.
go check them out. It's a great brand, up and coming. They got some of the comfiest damn wrestling shoes I've ever put on my feet. So make sure you go check them out in my signature line. I'm working on it right now. So just stay posted on my Instagram or Twitter. And then, when that comes out, make sure you get yourself some stuff.
Hell yeah, some Keegan O'Toole gear available from
yeah.
Scrap Life. Awesome. Well, Keegan, thanks so much. Appreciate you coming on, and it's always a joy. So we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have
Thank
a good
you,
one.
man. You too. All right, another one in the books, Kyle, and another great conversation with Keegan O'Toole.
I know he's awesome, man. It's I'm glad we have 3 more years with that dude. He's good for the sport, good for wrestling.
Yep, according to your dad. So
I know. I mean, I use my dad as a barometer, man. If it gets on his radar, I know it's legit.
Yeah, cool. Well, tell your dad I said hello, and that's going to do it for today's show. So for Kyle Klingman and Keegan O'Toole and Mark Bader, we'll see you next time. Thanks.